Hi everyone, Drea here with some tarot tips, and today we're going to talk about the Magician. The Magician is one of the most fortunate, powerful cards that we can have in tarot. It of course is number one, and a wonderful way to look at the Magician is the whole kit and caboodle. So we're going to break down the Magician. There are so many symbols here in this card. A great way to look at this card is the Magician is prepping and it's manifestation, and it's really every element of tarot and equipping yourself and preparing yourself for something great that you're about to unleash. So let's take a look at all of these symbols and dive into the Magician. The Magician has a white wand in his right hand that you can clearly see, and he raises it towards the sky. His left hand points down to the earth, and this is known as the dual sign, very high grades of instituted mysteries. It shows the descent of grace, virtue, and light drawn from things above and derived from things below. As far as the right hand symbolism, the right hand is drawn down to power, light, and wisdom from the heavens above. And the left hand transfers this knowledge from the earthly plane in the form of mediumship, magic, manifestation. So let's talk about the left hand symbolism. The gesture of the Magician's finger with his left hand can demonstrate the principles of concentration and the ability to focus his attention on mastering his skills. We're reminded that hard work is required to achieve anything worthwhile. Again, this is the prep work, okay? And this means you have the ability to do it and you're preparing. We also have this white wand, and the white wand has two identical points to remind us, again, that what is above is available below. This magical wand becomes the connection between heaven and earth again, humankind and spirit, the living and the dead. On the table in front of the Magician are the symbols of the 4 tarot suits. So what is so special again about the Magician is that you have all the suits of the tarot together in one card. So we're going to talk about that. We have the Pentacle right over here, and we have the cup on the table or the chalice, and we have the sword, and we have the wand. These tools can signify the elements of the natural life, which like counters before the adept, and he adapts them as he waits. The elements of the natural life are fire, which is of course our wands, air for swords, earth, pentacles, and water for cups. The Magician has at his disposal all the natural elements and their strengths. Motivation from the fire, okay, for the action. Intelligence for air, very cerebral. Health is pentacles, think of physical aspects of the world. And imagination for water. And don't forget, this can be attributed to signs in astrology as well, and how the signs behave. So let's talk about the table. We have a table here, this orange table. The orange table is dominating part of this image here. And this is, of course, our Rider-Waite deck. Orange can be associated with intellect and spiritual energy. The 4 legs of the table, they may represent the 4 worlds, the 4 categories of the spiritual realms in the Kabbalah. And of course, you can't help but notice this beautiful, bright yellow background in the Magician card. So let's talk about the yellow background. The bright yellow background in this card is symbolic of the state of consciousness that's required for all of this manifestation to occur. Yellow is traditionally associated with optimism and positivism, and yellow is connected to the solar plexus chakra, our center of hope and inspiration. It corresponds to the element air. It's often used in tarot to represent intellect and, of course, the spiritual mind. We cannot forget about this horizontal figure 8 symbol above the magician's head, the sign of infinity. What goes around comes around. Energy never dies, and we are born and reborn again. The red robe. The magician, of course, wears this red robe, and every color in this card is chosen carefully for its symbolism. Red represents fire energy and the spark of activation and manifestation, action, fire, wands. His robe has no buttons and can be easily slipped on and off, indicative of the magician's ability to slip between levels of consciousness and spiritual dimensions. The serpent belt, we have our snake right there. Okay, the magician wears a serpent belt, which, according to the Rider-Waite, represents the eternity of attainment in the spirit. We have the white gown, or the robe. And the white robe, worn as the undergarment close to the body, is symbolic of our spiritual body, also called the astral body, being close to the physical body. The white headband. The white headband encircles the magician's forehead and the location of the crown chakra. And this draws our attention to the necessity to activate our crown chakra if we wish to manifest things in our life. Garlands of red roses above and below, and lilies create a sacred space for the magician to work within. Now, if we want to break it down further, many believe that the red symbolizes love and passion and feminine energy, and the white symbolizes the masculine energy, and therefore the unity of the masculine and feminine energy. But again, the whole kit and caboodle of life. So in the general sense, in tarot, the magician is a prototype of the creator, and the ideas about the meaning of this card, according to the drawing, are as follows: youth, energy, creativity. Moreover, the work of the magician is focused on the process itself and not on the result. Creativity goes hand in hand with energy, and energy is most often associated with youth. So again, if we talk about these 4 items on the table, the wand personifies will, impulse, activity, movement. Remember, wands in tarot is action associated with fire signs. It's the conductor of magical power. Pentacles, matter, physical aspects of the world. And in tarot, we talk about money, and of course, we talk about health with physical aspects. Okay? The pentagram is the symbol of the 5 elements of the universe, such as earth, fire, water, air. The sword personifies the mind. It's a symbol of reflection, intellectual search for root causes, protection, and justice. And of course, it's associated with the element of air. Think about the air signs, these cerebral air signs that we talk about. And of course, the cups are water signs, representing the soul, emotions, symbols of winning, the keeper of liquid, feelings, relationships, emotions, feminine, dark, hidden principles that refer to the elements of water. So these symbols, these 4 symbols of tarot that the magician embodies, are the cardinal points, the 4 seasons, the 4 elements, the personification of will and impulse and matter and mind. They're the 4 psychological functions: sensation, intuition, thinking, and feeling. This is our inner resource, which has to be mastered in full. It is not the objects themselves that are important, but the ability to rule over them. This is why the magician juggles the objects on some decks. The magician is an important, wonderful card. It is the beginnings. It is to remind you that you can do it, and that you are equipping yourself with all the tools necessary to make it happen. Now, when we talk about reversals, if we believe in reversals, it is a reminder to be careful that all may not be as it appears. So sometimes the Magician reverse can represent a false show, if you will, a wolf in sheep's clothing. So be careful of that. But overall, it's a fantastic card, and it is so enjoyable to look at. There are so many symbols. And the Magician embodies the whole kit and caboodle. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you found this relaxing. And I hope that you take the time to think about tarot and pay attention to what you're drawn to and what the cards mean to you. Stay tuned for more tarot tips from Drea, and thank you for watching.